Tinnitus.
Seriously.
ED.
ED.
A little lower. One more time, a little lower.
A little lower. A little bit. I think you could have gone a little more lower. All right, Scott, thank you so much for meeting me here. We're going to do an interview, get to know the company, get to know about you. Are you comfortable with that, Scott, a little bit? Are you comfortable with being transparent here today in this interview to let veterans know about the choices there is in the community to get more in their disability? Are you comfortable with that, Scott?
I'm very comfortable and very confident, and hold me accountable.
Okay, hold you accountable. I'm gonna hold you accountable. All right. Okay, so a little bit about yourself. Who are you? A brief history of your past. Please don't go more than 30 seconds. And what do you do now?
Well, first, again, thank you for coming here to Veterans Guardian here in Pinehurst, North Carolina.
Pinehurst, North Carolina. Is that where I'm at?
That's where I'm right here, center of the universe, just down the block, Fort Bragg. It's about an hour away.
Fort Bragg.
So about myself,
is it still Fort Bragg or Fort Liberty? It's almost like gender reassignment. That's what it is.
I live in a town that's about 99% active duty in veterans, and I haven't heard this Fort Liberty thing.
Yeah.
It's Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
I mean, Google Maps still has it as Fort Bragg, I think.
Is there any pronouns that you would like to be called?
Just call me Scott. I'm okay with that.
All right. That's a weird pronoun, but I'll call you that.
Scott Greenblatt. I served in the U.S. Army for about 26 years. I started off as a sandwich maker in 1991. I was enlisted for a couple of years, got out, went to college, served about another dozen years or so in the field artillery, and about another dozen years in civil affairs. I went from E1 through 05 in about a quarter century.
Sandwich maker, artillery, civil affairs. How does that happen?
I've probably watched a few too many commercials, Be All You Can Be, and I just...
Oh, that got me too. That got you?
It got me.
Oh, which one? Which commercial got you?
It was the guys in the Zodiac. Those guys, I think they're probably Navy SEALs or something. It just all looked cool to me.
Is it the ones coming out the water?
Out of the water, yeah. That's what got it for me.
I know exactly. You know which one got it for me? It was the kid coming home. He was on a bus coming home. His father was on the porch.
His father's waiting for him.
Exactly.
With his duffel bag in hand.
Yes. Yeah. That one got me. That one got me immediately. I don't know why.
That one's a Hallmark moment.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And then they convinced me to be gay. What rank did you get out?
The second go around, then I was a lieutenant colonel when I retired.
Wow. Well, I just want to say, as a retired officer, I'm glad to see you haven't lost your touch.
Okay.
Running a company off the back of soldiers. I get you. Okay. So what inspired you to start Veteran Guardians, right? Was it a dream or were you in a porta-john?
When you're getting ready to leave the military, you have a lot of different ideas and all the things that you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Never in my life would I have imagined that we would have started a paperwork company, because anybody who knows me knows that that's probably not. But I was just really passionate about veterans, and I just saw the need. It was just, people were coming to me, looking to look the strategies and how we were executing our claims. And, then I just really realized that, I was onto something. When your phone keeps on ringing, you're onto something. And I was just getting calls and calls and calls. And so when we put this together, it just started at, one claim at a time. I still remember our first veteran that we helped out. And now it's been, about over 7 years, and we've probably served over 250,000 veterans.
So you never worked at the VA?
I've never worked at the U.S. Department.
And you were able to figure out the paperwork challenges of the VA, and you helped veterans with their paperwork from what you learned and your self-Googling.
It's all on the internet. I studied the Veteran Affairs Federal Court of Appeals, and it's all on the docket, and I've downloaded and reviewed everything by every medical condition that exists.
That's like reading the Constitution.
Well, it's a very important document. I think we should all be very familiar with it. But this is more like reading...
What's the Fourth Amendment? Continue.
This is like reading the entire encyclopedia from A to Z with all the annual updates.
Okay. There's always one willing to jump on that grenade, and that guy was you.
I'm literally standing in a minefield.
So what's your favorite part about showing up in the morning every day?
You walk around, you talk to all, everybody that works here.
Right.
Everybody's a veteran. They're a spouse of a veteran. They're a spouse of active duty. A lot of the people that work here were veteran clients themselves here. And, it's treating everybody's claim as if it was they're your own, and the amount of people that we're impacting. So not only are we impacting thousands and thousands of veterans a month, we're also impacting the lives of, is that, have you applied for that? That tinnitus? I can tell the ringing.
Yeah, I heard it.
Is that service connected?
No, not yet. Can you guys get me there?
Well, I mean, if you have to be legally, ethically, and medically eligible for that, but we can certainly help you with that.
So if I say yes, take note, VA. I'm not lying about my condition. I know exactly where I stand when it comes to my condition. And Scott right here can attest that I got what I say I got, and they ain't got to tell me that I don't got what I say I got like they always tell me. Right, Scott? But you know that I got what I got because you're experiencing the thing that I got that the VA saying I don't got.
Well, not to mention, do I not just believe you, we've reviewed your medical evidence and we've supported that through.
See? I feel like they're the ones with the tinnitus because they don't hear me. I've been trying though.
You're singing my song.
Yeah. Okay, so what makes VG different than other consultants or companies that offer the same service as you?
There are a couple other organizations out there in the veterans private claim consulting space, and some of them are doing a good job as well. We encourage everybody to look at our Facebook, Google, and Better Business Bureau reviews. It's a clear standout between us, and the others. And the good reviews are great. I'd look at the negative ones, and some of the other ones, have. The veterans will certainly tell their story. And another thing that we're incredibly proud of is that everybody that works here is a veteran, spouse of a veteran, or spouse of active duty. And, it's an incredible responsibility to be entrusted with their records. We don't have offices overseas in Manila like almost all the other companies do. A lot of companies are operating, they're leveraging cheap labor and using with foreign nationals. And everybody here is, is an American and a veteran, and we take and all of our systems are HIPAA compliant, and we leverage information security is our most important thing that we value here when we're dealing with information. I would encourage any veteran that is looking at any other companies to not only look at our reviews online, look at theirs, and then ask them flat out, are you leveraging overseas, foreign nationals, to work, because now your private information is being exposed, in other countries.
Okay. I thought you were going to say paperwork.
No. Paperwork, it's just
That's
necessarily evil. Yeah,
Paperwork
I sit there and I love sitting at my desk.
If you read the whole
paperwork.
VA thing, you love paperwork, Scott. You cannot. You a PowerPointer. I know a PowerPointer when I see one. I know you're killing people by PowerPoint. I know it.
Death by PowerPoint.
Exactly. Death by PowerPoint. That's exactly. I see it. I know somebody that'll make a 50-page PowerPoint out of ham and cheese.
The Army has a recovery program for after doing PowerPoint after you leave the military, though.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole recovery program. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous, but for officers, it's a PowerPoint recovery program.
And they do it with the PowerPoint.
With the PowerPoint.
That's the shit. That's the thing that, it's like, okay. If a Ranger walked into the VA with a disability, what do you say that disability should be?
Well, first of all, we're talking about Rangers, very elite force. And so there's no question.
We got SEALs.
Well, even if it was a SEAL, let's just throw the entire special operations community.
We got recons.
We do.
My boy Rudy Reyes.
I think you're answering my question for me.
Oh,
and
sorry.
I think the answer is this is very simple because this is not my opinion. This is the historical analysis. It's going to say it's erectile dysfunction.
ED.
Oh, absolutely.
Rangers got ED.
Oh, it's unquestionably. It's. I mean, but that's not my opinion. That's the data.
That's the movie they need to make. A Ranger with ED. Okay, if Vet Guardians were a movie, which one would it be? Saving Private Ryan or Wolf of Wall Street? Please say Wolf of Wall Street.
Unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint you. This is a mission that we focus on ensuring our veterans receive everything they're legally, ethically, and medically eligible for their service. And it's just unfortunate that our veterans are having to experience the challenges of a Byzantine or very adversarial system. And so, unfortunately, I am going to disagree, and it's more of a Saving Private Ryan type of scenario as we're impacting the lives of veterans to help them ensure that they don't have to deal with the challenges of the other, processes to get what they're deserving.
That's why I say, Scott, you're the guy that jumps on the grenade. I don't agree with people calling your company claim sharks. I feel like this is America. Everybody should be free to choose the pronouns that they want to be identified as.
Absolutely.
The same way you identify yourself as Scott. What would the pronouns for your company be? Deep question.
Right to choose.
Right to choose. Right to and choose. Those are the pronouns. Right to and choose. Okay?
We have three.
Huh?
We have three. So it's three. Right to choose.
Right to choose.
Yeah.
That's what I say, 2?
Well, how many pronouns can somebody have?
3.
Okay, so we're good.
Well, it depends what they're comfortable with. There's these, thems.
Hats off to the service organizations for trying to salvage their organization.
Right.
Their population numbers are cutting in half. About every 7 or 8 years, their membership cuts in half. And it's unfortunate that veterans only, that they don't have enough options. Just as you said earlier, veterans should have a right to choose.
Yeah.
You remember when you were stationed at Fort Campbell, when it came time to doing your taxes, you could have gone to the free tax assistance center on the military base. You could have called your platoon sergeant. He could have helped you. Justin could have helped you with your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You could have gone to TurboTax, and you could even have gone to the IRS for help.
Yeah.
But you had those choices. Right now, the service organizations want to limit those choices, and they said that we are the only, the organizations that need to help you, and that's really just unfortunate. We're right about to walk into 2025, and this country is built on more choices, not less.
Okay. So let me ask you, if you and a specific CEO was locked inside of the room, door locked and everything, who's coming out first? Who's coming first? Who's coming out gay first? No, that's not right. Okay, who's leaving the room first? There we go. Sorry about that.
I would imagine that, I'm going to perceive that you're probably talking about one, maybe an organization that is apparently adversarial, with us, and it's...
I'm not talking about nobody.
Nobody?
I plead the fifth.
Okay,
the Fifth
well,
Amendment.
Well, if that's the case, I know who I am, and I think despite what it may happen inside that room, and I think there may be some lengthy discussion, but I think we're gonna come out unified, and we're gonna come out hand in hand.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. This is how we save America.
that's right.
If only we can use our differences and put them on the table and do that in this country, we'd be better off as a nation. Doesn't the president of Russia look like a good hugger? He look like he can hug. Like if you're sad, he look like he can give you a good pat in the back. Just say, hey.
I don't know if the president of Russia is... Yeah, I think that's the look he made when he's hugging. Yeah.
This right here, this can cure ED. That's what this is. And then you whisper. That's what you do with the other guy in the room. You whisper in his ear. You go, hey, we're in it together. We're gonna do it together. We're in it together. Okay, brother? And then he'll go, yes, brother. And then you guys just breathe into each other's ears. And then you let go when you're done. What are some of the challenges you faced creating this company?
Well, like any other organization, there's all the challenges from administration, insurance, and and facilities and employee and hiring. But we were able to accomplish all of that. Really, to be honest, we really didn't have a tremendous amount of challenges. It's just really unfortunate that our organization really does exist, because if all the other organizations, whether the non-paid services or even the Department of Veteran Affairs, if they were doing their job right, then we simply wouldn't exist. And I'll tell you, we know that over 80% of anybody that ever has come to Veterans Guardian, they've already utilized, in many cases, exhausted all the free services that are out there for them. So this is, from legal language, informed consent, but they're coming from a position of knowledge. They know what they're doing. They're coming to us. They're looking for that help that they couldn't get elsewhere. And again, we're competing with free. I don't know how else to say it. And so, again, when the Department of Veteran Affairs does what they need to do and solves this problem that they've allowed to continue on for decades, we won't have a job and our doors will be closed.
But for now, pronouns, right to choose.
Right to choose.
Exactly. All right, so you're pushing more regulations on your company. You're pushing for more regulations on your company.
Absolutely. Well,
okay, are you bad at math, or you don't like capitalism, or what are you doing?
We don't believe that we want to leave everything exactly the way it is.
You're downsizing.
No, actually,
your employees are watching this right now. Yeah, you're downsizing. That's what this sounds like.
No, actually, we're a continuous hire as a result of the process. I mean, it's a difficult process. We're actually encouraging for greater regulation. We want to make the process. We want it, for lack of better words, be brought in under the tent with the Department of Veteran Affairs. We want to have all the same rules that applies to everybody. We encourage the Secretary of Veteran Affairs and the Chief of Office of General Counsel of the Veteran Affairs to allow us to be a part of the process and to apply the same regulations, rules, and standards of conduct that everybody else is faced with. We're already doing those things. We already have the rules. We hold ourselves to an incredibly high standard. We started our Veterans Guardian Academy here at Veterans Guardian.
What's that?
It's a big, long test, and it's a lot of training.
Okay.
It's a lot of training, and everybody's got to take this training at various stages along the way here in the organization.
To be employed?
To be employed here.
And to handle veterans' benefits?
Absolutely.
They got to be trained extensively. What I would assume through PowerPoint, Scott, to help veterans get a higher rating of disability.
Absolutely.
Sounds like some well-trained people.
Well, not only well-trained, we also know that our training by far exceeds the training that happens at the other veteran service organizations, and also the training that the attorneys are getting as well. I believe the attorneys have to take about 2 hours of continuing education about every 3 or 4 years or something like that. This is an ongoing process here that happens daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually. Training never ends. We know that from our time in service, and the processes are always changing, and we make sure that we keep up with all the changes.
I like what I'm hearing. If only United Health would work that same way, they'd have a CEO today. Okay, so what do you think would happen if vet guardians couldn't be allowed or was banned from helping veterans with their disability?
Well, that'd be really unfortunate. Yeah, it's because if a veteran's guardian's not here to fill that space, then veterans are going to continue to utilize all the existing services, right? And those services, they're well-intentioned, very well-intentioned, and passionate volunteers, right? So, they'll continue to have the same difficulty and challenges of getting a hold of them. I mean, that's its own challenges in itself. Also, they have a very high disapproval rate, and they'll continue to be a kind of this forcing function, this feeder to all the law firms. So what happens is when veterans go to the veteran service organizations, there are high-rated claims disapproval, and then they just continue to feed the government-sponsored monopoly for supporting all the law firms that do veterans claims. And I think that's exactly the way they would like to keep it.
So what do you think is a veteran's biggest hurdle with the VA right now? Do you think it's the time it takes to get approved? Is it the denial? Is it just the lack of information? I want to say it's probably the lack where to go, right? Because the lack of direction, it could be the lack of direction whenever you want to file for your thing. You really don't know what to expect when you're filing for these disabilities. So what do you think is the biggest hurdle?
No, you nailed it. Yeah, that was a really important point. You kind of answered your own question. There isn't this, there isn't a system inside the VA that's trying to actually deny claims, but they have a legal obligation to ensure that you have all the medical evidence that you need to approve a claim. So the challenge that veterans experiencing is that there are many cases not submitting the right information for the VA to approve a claim. And the Department of Veterans Affairs will say that they have this duty to assist. And they do. And they will assist you, and they'll send you to a compensation and pension examination. But more times than not, we'll see the rating decision letter come back and that the veteran doesn't have the past chronicity or the past medical history to support that claim. That's where Veterans Guardian comes in, and we work with the veteran. And it's a confusing system. And the information's out there, but
right now.
Nobody knows how to find it.
Nobody.
I can rattle off a bunch of manuals that have all the rules in there, but those are generally internal manuals to the VA, and nobody reads those manuals. And I'm not sure if they even read them inside the VA.
What percentage is that claim disapproval at today? Do you know?
I can't speak about the information is published, and it's on the Veteran Affairs Bureau of Statistics website of all that. But I know that we're currently seeing currently a little about a 10% disapproval rate with all the claims with the veterans that work through Veterans Guardian Consultant. Okay. We've got the experience, we've got the knowledge, we know what works, we know, but more importantly, we also know what doesn't work.
Okay. So you're at a 90% approval
rate. Yeah, that's right. But again, these are not but we don't make those decisions. The Department of Veteran Affairs makes those decisions on how to adjudicate or approve a claim. But we know what works, and we also know the medical evidence that needs to be there. And so if we don't have the medical evidence, from the veteran to support that claim, to make it, legally sufficient, that's not a claim that we're going to, help the veteran pursue.
Right.
Because there's no point in clogging up the system with a bad claim.
Yeah.
And then having to face that denial.
Yeah.
Remember when you got that denial letter in your mailbox? Mm-hmm. And what that felt like?
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks.
I didn't understand it when I first read it.
Well, you just see that big red denied. It's like really big at the top. And it says it didn't happen, and then you're saying, holy shit, this really did happen. I remember going on that run, or I remember that jump, where you felt pretty hard. Or you remember jumping out of that MRAP, with all that body armor. You remember that.
Yeah.
And you knew it's service connected, and when they come back and tell you it's not service connected, it's impactful.
Mm-hmm. What do you think leads to that? What do you think leads the VA thinking it's not service connected?
Well, on the Department of Veteran Affairs, on their behalf, they just can't arbitrarily approve or disapprove a claim. Well, I think they can just disapprove a claim and put you in this spin cycle to try to get it to overturn it. But they need to make sure that you have all the medical and information for them that's legally sufficient to approve a claim. And oftentimes, veterans lack that medical evidence when they submit their claim. And they're relying on the VA to go back and collect it back from their medical military service history. And if they don't have it there, then they will just generally disapprove a claim.
Yeah, because estimates are saying that
60-70%.
The VA initially denies between 6 and 7 out of every 10 VA disability claim that comes in.
Remember that little story I talked about of lawyers? Denied claims, more business for lawyers.
I don't remember that. I got memory loss too.
Every time when claims get
PTSD.
denied from the through the veteran service from the VA through the veteran service organizations,
Right.
the veteran doesn't even have to ask to be referred to an attorney. They're directly referred to the biggest law firms in the country.
Mm.
It's good to be the owner of a biggest law firm in the country then, huh?
Yeah. So what's harder, Scott? Basic training when you were in the 80s
Yeah.
or navigating through the VA paperwork. Be honest, Scott. Does working with the VA make you miss the acronyms like FUBAR? Honesty only, please.
Honesty only.
Honesty only.
So we all know what FUBAR is, but I would maybe argue with that one and just say it's probably more like a snafu, of what the situation, because that's the new normal. Was it situational normal, all fucked up?
Yeah.
That's the situation that Veterans Day are dealing with, right? And so, but going back to your original question, had a great time. It wasn't the 80s, but it was the 90s. It was 91. I was at Fort
damn,
Jackson.
My bad. Who wrote this? Who wrote these questions? This wasn't me.
Somebody thinks I'm probably a little bit older than I am.
I didn't write these questions, Scott. I promise you, I didn't write these.
Well, I may have gone in the 90s, but you went to basic training, what, about 2000?
2004.
2004.
Yeah, 2004. People don't believe me.
I believe you.
Okay, quick. Pitch me Vet Guardians in 10 words and you can't use "we're not the VA."
We're not the VA. No. Veterans Guardian, our mission is to ensure that veterans achieve everything legally, ethically, and medically eligible for their honorable and faithful service to a grateful nation.
Well, that's more than 10 words.
It's my building.
Say that again.
Okay, we're going to count to what? You counting? Mm-hmm. No, to ensure the veterans receive. Okay, wait, now I got to back up. If I got 10, okay.
I got it. Go ahead. I got 2.
Ensure veterans receive everything legally, ethically.
Yeah. I'm at 14.
No, I'm at 6.
Well, that's because your math is bad, Scott.
I do VA math.
Go ahead.
Okay. Eligible for honorable, faithful service.
21.
21 is a lucky number. Let's just go with that.
Yeah. All right. So you mentioned that your biggest competition is free.
Absolutely.
That's what you mentioned. The biggest competition is free. I'm wondering what the competition is out here. We should call, and let's see what happens. Maybe they.
You're going to call one of the free services out there.
Maybe they have the answer to ED. Where's my phone? Yeah, I got it. Stay there, Scott. Don't move. Okay, let's see. Google is a beautiful thing. Google. Oh, if I go maps.
You want to go look for one?
Huh?
Call a local one.
That's what I'm going to do.
I mean, this is the center of the universe.
There you
right
go.
outside of Fort Bragg Liberty.
Got it. And let's see.
Well, I mean, the voicemail should probably pick up. Leave nobody behind.
I feel like I'm at the VA right now.
How's your anxiety level right now?
It's slowly rising 10% with every ring that comes.
I mean, I'm seeing that twitch in your left eye.
That's 20%. Well, I mean, we've been trained on this. Hurry up and wait, right?
Hurry up and wait. It's a new normal.
Yeah.
What did we call it?
Deny until we die.
Yep. Snafu.
Snafu, that too. They're probably busy helping other veterans, and that's why.
That's exactly what's happening.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
They're probably busy
they're helping. Just call back.
That's what I'll do. That
call back.
I'll do that. I'll do that. And it's early too, so it's 3.
Let me know how that works out for you.
Yeah. All right, so that's all the questions I have. Thank you for answering every single one of them, even when things got weird. Do you have anything that you want to tell people in the space, in the verse, in the universe of the internet about what you guys do and what the best course of action is?
Well, first of all, I encourage every veteran to leverage all of the options that are available to them first.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of options. So, I mean, they can have their buddy at the bar help them with their VA claim, right? They can have their own first sergeant or platoon sergeant help them out. They can go to a veteran service organization. If they're looking for a veteran service organization, they can go to our website. We have links to the Office of General Counsel website, and they can find a free service that exists with them. Hopefully, they'll have better luck getting a hold of them than you did. There's a lot of options. They can also choose to use a private organization like ours. I would encourage everybody to, before they choose a private company to work with, look at their reviews, right? Read them. see what they say. Don't look at the good ones. Look at the bad ones as well, and ask hard questions. Are you using? Ask about how do you protect our information, right? Information security.
Yeah.
Are you leveraging, offshore or overseas call centers, right? Or do you have offices throughout Asia, as well? Because your information should be protected. And again, are using all HIPAA compliant, servers and information systems.
Exactly.
And also, is the person you're talking to, what's their affiliation with the veteran community? I think those are all pretty good questions, and I encourage every veteran to leverage their option and choose.
All right, there you have it. There you have it. I hope I asked the questions that you wanted me to ask, that you were curious about. Hope you got the answers here with Scott and Vet Guardians. Okay, so stop asking me about these questions, because I ain't got the answers to these things. I'm trying to work it myself. I'm actually done working with them because they helped me out with this. So I'm actually not working with it, but I still don't have the answers because they took care of the answers for me. So
you got your ED disability rating.
Of course.
All right, there you go.
Of course. Shit. $150. I need that.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks for making me feel a little bit more at ease. Thank
Yeah.
you, Mary, for making me feel at ease as well.